Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into a massive, massive shift happening in the digital world, literally right under our noses. We're unpacking the evolution of search in the age of AI. We're going to look at how our everyday habits are completely transforming and what that means for the entire future of information. So, let's just jump right in.
Right off the bat, we've got to address the elephant in the room. It is the existential question on absolutely every marketer's mind right now. Will Google and, traditional search engines as we know them even exist 5 years from now? There's so much panic out there right now, a lot of doom and gloom about the quote-unquote death of search at the hands of AI. It's a wildly provocative question, right? And it's honestly the perfect place for us to start.
But listen, we can quickly dispel that myth right now. The answer to whether search engines will stick around is a resounding yes. Search isn't dying, okay? But it is changing, and it's changing faster than ever before. It's undergoing a massive foundational evolution. To really grasp where we're going with all this, we first have to understand where we came from and how our habits have already started shifting.
This brings us to our first major shift, going from keywords to conversations.
Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is the stark contrast in our behavior over just a few short years. Back in 2015, we communicated with machines like machines. We used these fragmented, robotic keywords like best laptop under 50,000 rupees. But look at how we do things today. Our queries are deeply personal. They're highly specific. We're giving the machine actual context. We tell it, hey, I'm a digital marketer working from home. Which laptop should I buy under 50,000 rupees for multitasking and video editing? It's like night and day.
What we're witnessing here is a total paradigm shift. We're moving completely away from typing isolated, clunky keywords to asking full, natural-sounding questions. And artificial intelligence, that is the exact catalyst accelerating this shift. Because AI can actually process and understand natural human language, we no longer have to, translate our thoughts into caveman speak just to get a good result.
So let's look at how this changes the game for us in our next section, the new customer journey. Think about a super relatable real-world scenario, something like planning a family vacation. The old way of doing this, man, it was a process just filled with friction. First, you open Google. Then you open like 10 different tabs. You're bouncing between websites, you're comparing hotels, reading through these incredibly lengthy travel blogs, maybe heading over to watch a few YouTube videos to see what the destination actually looks like. And at the end of it all, you've spent an entire hour just collecting and organizing the info before you can even think about making a decision. Exhausting, right?
Now contrast that full hour of painstaking research with our new reality. Today, you can literally just give an AI a prompt like, plan a 3-day family trip to Uti from Chennai with a budget of 25,000 rupees. The difference is staggering. Within mere seconds, boom, the AI generates a complete, customized itinerary. All that heavy lifting, the gathering, the filtering, the organizing of the data, it's all done for you instantly.
Seeing that kind of absolute magic trick is exactly why people are asking if Google is dying. But here's the reality check. Traditional search engines are still incredibly important. We aren't abandoning them anytime soon. People will absolutely continue using them for very specific, trust-based tasks. Things like running detailed shopping comparisons, finding local businesses, conducting specific travel research, verifying the news, because we definitely want to make sure things are actually true, and doing really in-depth primary research. For that stuff, traditional search is absolutely here to stay.
What's actually shifting is the fundamental order of operations. The whole funnel is completely flipping. Today, the typical journey starts with discovering a website, clicking it open, and reading through to find your answer. Tomorrow, and frankly for a lot of us right now, the journey starts by asking an AI to get an immediate answer. You only visit a specific website afterward if you decide you need more granular details. The website is basically becoming the second step, not the first.
And this brilliantly illustrates the new symbiotic relationship between traditional search and AI. Guys, they are not enemies, they're totally complementary tools. Think of it exactly like this. Google helps people discover information that exists out there in the world. AI helps people actually understand that information quickly. Moving forward, both of these systems are going to work hand in hand.
Okay, so how do businesses actually survive this wild shift? That brings us to the new holy trinity of digital visibility: SEO, AEO, and GEO. Let's break it down.
For years, digital marketing was basically a one-trick pony. Marketers focused almost exclusively on SEO, or search engine optimization. The entire goal was pretty simple: help people find your website when they type those fragmented keywords into a search bar.
It has been the absolute foundational strategy for being seen online for, well, forever. But now let's look at how this is evolving. Enter AEO, or Answer Engine Optimization. Because users are now asking full questions and demanding immediate answers, your content actually needs to be structured in a way that AI can easily read it, extract the core facts, and then use your information to answer the user's question directly, right there in the chat interface.
And finally, the third piece of this puzzle is GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. This goes way beyond just providing a factual answer. This is about positioning your brand so strongly, with such high authority and perfect context, that the generative AI actively recommends your brand as the absolute best solution to a user's highly detailed prompt. It's a total game changer.
All right, let's wrap all these concepts together as we talk about adapting for the future. If you take away literally just one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. The old goalposts are entirely obsolete. The future of digital visibility is no longer just about fighting tooth and nail to rank #1 on a static list of blue links. That single metric, it just doesn't define success anymore.
So the crucial point is this: the winners of tomorrow are the businesses that adapt early to true omni-channel visibility. You have to be visible absolutely everywhere. You need to be found when people do traditional searches, you need to be the source when people ask an AI questions, and you need to be the recommended solution when people interact with generative engines. It's all about making the process of finding information faster, smarter, and deeply, deeply personalized.
We've seen how the technology is shifting from robotic keywords to fluid conversations, and from isolated search results to beautifully synthesized answers. And honestly, this leaves us with a fantastic question to ponder as we close out this explainer. What do you think? Based on the evidence we've just walked through, will AI ultimately replace Google completely? Or are we witnessing the birth of a permanent, incredibly powerful collaborative system? Take a second to think about your own daily search habits and let us know your thoughts. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.